With an estimated net worth of $400 billion, Mansa Musa may have been the richest man who ever lived. Most philosophers will tell you that money doesn't make you rich in a holistic sense, and a crown of gold won't fill the hole in your heart. But people across the whole world will always remember you if you are rich. Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk won't come close to being the richest human of all time. They are still far from the African King Mansa Musa, who is thought to be the richest person of all time, richer than anyone could ever describe. So, who was Mansa Musa, and how did he acquire such an unimaginable wealth? Here is all you need to know about the richest person ever. One of the greatest caravans to ever cross the Sahara was led by Mansa Musa, the legendary ruler of the vast West African Empire of Mali. In 1324, Musa embarked on a Hajj, a religious pilgrimage to Mecca, traveling with an entourage which included 8,000 courtiers and 12,000 servants and 100 camels loads of pure gold. Musa was born in 1280, and Mansa means Sultan in the native language of Mandinka spoken in the region. He came to the throne in 1312, and his 25-year reign, the kingdom of Mali expanded massively to include the current-day nations of Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast. How was Mansa Musa so rich? Imagine how much money the richest person in history would have. Now add a couple of 100 billion and you've probably gotten closer to how much wealth Mansa Musa had during the 14th century. As the king of the Mali Empire in West Africa, Musa first came to power in 1312. At that point, the kingdom was already prosperous, but under the rule of Mansa Musa, Mali became even more wealthy, taking advantage of the region's natural resources like gold and salt. Mansa Musa expanded his empire throughout several territories and made a big impression along the way. Some historians believe that with an inflation-adjusted fortune, his wealth amounts to around $400 billion today. But he was not just a rich man and a sultan. He was a famous Hajj pilgrim. Several famous historians have documented Mansa Musa. Ibn Battuta also wrote about him when he visited Mali in 1352. All these historians give prominence to Mansa Musa and his famous Hajj pilgrims. The pilgrimage to Mecca is one of the 5 main pillars of Islam, and Mansa Musa decided to embark on Hajj in the year of 1324 to 1325, but it was not like any other journey ever witnessed. Musa quite literally paved his path to Mecca with gold and put his kingdom on the map. Musa was famous for his generosity and piety. He built a mosque every single Friday during his journey and gave away so much gold that destabilized the economy in parts of the region for 12 years, as well as deflating the value of gold. The lasting contributions of Mansa Musa's wealth. Ultimately, Mansa Musa used most of it to build a great number of mosques. Legend said that Musa built one mosque every Friday during his reign. The most famous of which is the Jingweblebe Mosque. Musa also commissioned several universities throughout the kingdom. Many of these historic buildings, both the schools and the mosques, are still standing today. When Musa was alive, his investment in Islamic education in Mali drew scores of Muslim scholars, poets, and artisans to his empire. They congregated in Timbuktu, which quickly became known as one of the most prominent cities in Islamic world. Eventually, Musa ruled the Mali Empire for about 20 years. During that time, he extended the reach of his trade ports significantly and became one of the most powerful rulers of today. It's believed that tales of his enormous convoy and generosity continued to be passed on long after. Musa ruled Mali Empire for 20 years. The richest king of history created something of a fantasy for people across the globe. At the time when many European countries were struggling through the plague, civil wars, and economic slowdown, his pilgrims to Mecca, generosity, and reputation awakened the whole world to the immense wealth of Africa, and in particular Mali. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like.